And then his guest.
Leaving on that new river train. Leaving on that new river train. Our grip's all packed and I'm never coming back, and I'm leaving on that new river train. Now, one of the brightest stars in this land of ours, Johnny Cash. Right here.
Oh, darling, you can't love but one. Darling, you can't love but one. You can't love but one and have any fun. Darling, you can't love but one. And now here's a pretty miss from Virginia, Miss Jeannie Thomas.
Darling, you can love too. Darling, you can love too. You can love too, and your little heart be true. Darling, you can love too. And now here's one of my special favorites, Uncle Cyp Brasfield.
Darling, you can't love free. Oh, darling, you can't love free. You can't love free and still love me. Oh, darling, you can't love free. Why don't you be nice to a young man that's just loaded with talent, but I mean, there is Gordon Terry. Oh, darling, you can't love four. Darling, you can't love four. You can't love four and love me anymore. Oh, darling, you can't love four.
Leaving on that new river train. Leaving on that new river train. Our grip's all packed and we're never coming back. And we're leaving on that new river train. We're leaving on that new river train.
That's a big gas. Remember, we still got the Promenaders to come out here, and one of the biggest guests on this or any other show, Little Bertha. Once again, from the heart of the Ozarks, it's Jubilee USA, brought to you by Massey Ferguson and your Massey Ferguson dealer. Massey Ferguson, pace setter of modern farming, makers of the world's most famous combine, and the only tractors with the Ferguson system.
Well, I guess you're wondering what I'm doing up here tonight, and so am I. But we've had our troubles this week. Our boss man, Red Foley, was hospitalized here in Springfield, and Tex Ritter, who was supposed to be visiting with us tonight, went to the hospital out in California. And, of course, you know, I hope you all will join me in wishing them a very speedy recovery. And to help them along, here are the Jubilee Promenaders right here. Come.
Can take the way, sugar to the left and same away. You turn that ring inside out, sugar to the left, go round and round. Now break to the right for the left, lady, and just swing that curve, swing like this. Hell man, you. Hey, right in left and go back here. Hey, right in left to the left hand sway. Four ladies, star across range, the opposite hip like an elementar. Go back up to the right and star. Left and swing, go back to right and left and go with you. Four ladies, star across down, the opposite hip to the left and around. How it go when she comes down. How it do, she's gonna get along all like you always do. Right and left and go past those. Come on, lady, right and round. Up hard and left, go all the way round. It's on, go right and left and go past those. Hey, come on, lady, right and around. Hard and left and not too far, and into the middle like an elephant star. To the right, I'm going right and star. You shoot the star, the next little girl, away can wheel in the vacant world. Your world up high, and the world looks low, and the world looks good in calico. Legs that still in the middle of the floor, and winding must be star one slow. You roll them out, you roll them in, you roll that star, go on again. Hey, roll them good up there, and good, and they go back to the roll that star, and go again. Side leg further, go back to the roll that star, and don't be good. Let roll them in. Now turn them around and circle up, people, till you come down. Hell, and up there, and star, go like that star that I got going on. hopping around in the do right. Come, day them pigs, you move right off that floor and you roll.
How about that? Jubilee Promenaders and Mr. L.D. Keller doing the calling. You know, springtime means circus time. That's when all the old circus troopers get itchy feet, start longing for the old sawdust trail. So let's take a look into the big top and see if our old prankster has circus fever. I'm talking of Uncle Cyp Brasfield right here.
I tell you, Mr. Wilson, you hit the nail on the head. I tell you, when I was 14-year-old, I run away with the circus. And every spring, blame it, about this time, I just get to itching to get on a circus. Especially after a hard winter like we've had this year. There I've been snowed in with my wife, nothing to look at but her. And you know, getting out and seeing monkeys and zebras is a pleasure. You just really, really enjoy it. Last spring, I run away with the circus. I was gone about 3 weeks before my wife found me. And I saw her coming around this big tent, and she had a big old rolling pin there. And I run and jumped in a cage with a big old vicious hippopotamus. Great big old thing. Boy, just as I got in that cage with him, that fool yawned and his mouth looked like marble cave. Oh, he was awful looking. And my wife stood outside that cage and says, there I was with that mean hippopotamus, and she says, come on out here, you coward. I was scared of her, and I was that I saw all this advertising going up about one of the biggest circus going now, and that's Adams Sale Circus. They'll be here Monday. And I went to Mr. Griffith, that's the manager, and I asked him for a job, and he says, well, I'll find you something, come on. And we walked around and walked into the menagerie tent there, and here was a big old cage there, and it had a wild, ferocious lion in it. And this man was standing out front, and he says, $100 for anybody that'll go in that cage with that ferocious lion. And he turned to me and nudged me and said, go on in. He won't bite you. He ain't got no teeth. I said, I know, but he can gum the fool out of you. And about that time, a pretty girl, I mean, boy, she was pretty. One of them high wire walkers, you know, had on them tights and spangles. And she come walking by there, and she just walked right in that cage with that lion. And that lion let out a roar. It sounded just like my wife after she took a big dose of soda. And then that old lion, he kind of slunk down and slipped over to her, and he started nuzzling her ear and kissing her on the neck. And Mr. Griffith says, see there? Now, why can't you do that? And I said, by Ned, I can if you'll get that blame lion out of there. He took me around to Mr. Smaha. Mr. Smaha is the elephant trainer, and he said, put him to work. And he gave me a job there feeding the elephants. That blame elephant's great big old animal with a tail on each end. And he told me to feed them. It's kind of confusing. You know what I mean? He said, all you got to do is just pitch hay over there. And by Ned, the first week I worked, every one of them elephants lost over 500 pounds of weight. I come to find out I was putting the hay at the wrong end, is what I was doing. And then Mr. Smaha wanted me to do an act with little Bertha. Little Bertha, that's a baby elephant, cutest little old thing. But I told him, I said, I ain't gonna work with no that blame elephant. They steal the show from you. I'm telling you that they'll always steal it. You can't, see, they're so big. An elephant is so that blame big that nobody pays any attention to you. And just about the time you start to pull a joke, that elephant will stick his snoot out and snort and sound just like a trumpet. Speaking of trumpets, makes me think of Harry James. I knew his folks. He's raised on the Mighty Hag Circus. I didn't know Harry was so popular. He blowed a trumpet. He was a trumpet player, and he was very able till he got Grable. I didn't need an elephant to ruin that, and did I? I'll never... Thank you very... Thank you, friend. Thank you very kindly. I never will forget the first elephant I ever saw. I run home and I said, Mommy, I just seen an elephant. And it's one of them things got a tail on each end. She says, what's he doing? I said, he's swatting flies at one end and squirting water with the other. I don't. Elephants are they are the hardest things to work with that you have ever. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not. Oh, Bertha, get out of here. God blame you, you've ruined it again. Now get on now.
Do you farm with big pull-type implements like this? But you also like to be using big fully mounted implements like this? Then this new Massey Ferguson 85 diesel is for you. Here is the 85 diesel with a big pull-type disc harrow attached. And on my left, a fully mounted 5-bottom plow. And you notice that there are no cobbled-up adapters, just the familiar Massey Ferguson 3-point hitch, or a Husky swinging drawbar. Use your 85 diesel as a pull-type lugger, or treat yourself to the efficiency and the convenience that you get only with the Ferguson system. Just think, now you can handle implements like this fully mounted 5-bottom plow with a fingertip. Yes, sir. Right at your fingertip, you control depth, draft, response, and position. Remember, too, that this gleaming band tells you that there's a rugged diesel engine under the hood. See this new Massey Ferguson 85 diesel at your dealers. It's the new 60-horse class tractor you should be driving. Of course, remember that there's a Massey Ferguson diesel tractor for all farm needs. Here's the Ferguson 35 diesel. Now, you know that the 3-plow 35 is the world's largest selling tractor. But did you know that this remarkable machine is available in this diesel model? And here's the hottest tractor to come on the farm scene in recent years. The Massey Ferguson 65 diesel. 4-plow diesel power, plus the Ferguson system and the Massey Ferguson differential lock. Now, if you're interested in a 60-horse class full-type diesel, look at the brawny Massey Ferguson 88 diesel right here. And here's one that may not fit on your TV screen. The MF 98 diesel, one of the world's most powerful tractors. Here's big power for the really big farmer or rancher. And, of course, the beautiful 85 diesel. 5-plow diesel power plus the Ferguson system. Yes, if you're interested in diesel power, Massey Ferguson has the diesel tractor for you. When it comes to diesel, it will pay you to come to Massey Ferguson.
But on the floor beside her, piles 6 feet high, were clothes good enough for a king. Just my size.
Leading us right up to time to say good night for our wonderful sponsor, Massey Ferguson.
Little Bertha was named for the courtesy of Adams & Sell 3-Ring Circus. Jubilee USA is an every-week presentation of Massey Ferguson and the great nationwide family of Massey Ferguson dealers. The friendly ghost saves a Boy Scout from a bear with a boo. Watch Matty's Fun Day Funnies tomorrow at 5 on ABC.